Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. And today we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk a little bit about PlayStation. We're also going to be talking about, Uncharted. Obviously, no spoilers. Bear in mind, I know you got to be careful. Every website you go, plot twist, it's actually Jack and Daxter or something. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be careful where you're going on online. So, I will just say there's absolutely no spoilers here. It's just about marketing. So I mean, I'm not even reading the article because I'm so goddamn scared of these uh these leaks or whatever. So yeah, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk a little bit about a new IP for PlayStation, some concept art, and what the IP could be called. So yeah, awesome stuff, and yeah, let's get into this. So first of all, we'll start off with Uncharted 4. So Uncharted 4 will have the biggest marketing campaign for a single game. Obviously, consoles and all that sort of stuff will have bigger marketing campaigns because they're consoles or whatever. But for a single game, that still is very impressive because think about it. Think about all the games PlayStation's had. Crash Bandicoot. You've had Gran Turismo, which is PlayStation's highest selling IP. You've had The Last of Us, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Just a ton of games. You know what I mean? Like Resistance and Killzone, all that great stuff. So yeah, very interesting. And this just goes to show me personally, and bear in mind I'm biased or whatever, at least I can admit it. But I think, this is going to be, and I think a lot of people agree with me, this is going to be the highest selling Uncharted game. I think, it's the first massive, I'm not saying PS4's had no AAA games or whatever, but it's the first massive AAA game, like huge blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the same time of Nathan Drake. Drake's Fortune on the PS3. So, yeah, it's expected. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. It was at the Champions League games. It's been on buses. It's been at retailers. It's crazy how this game is pretty much everywhere. And if you are like me and you watch your IGN and you watch your PS4 trophies and whatnot, you are going to be bombarded with these advertisements. Me, bring it on. I love Uncharted. Nothing more I love than a good Uncharted game. So I'm happy with that. Some of the people, they'll be like, for Christ's sake, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to watch this video here. So I can understand that. But the next thing I wanted to talk about was PlayStation sales. So PlayStation has just come out and said that they've shipped 40 million consoles. That's very impressive. And I'm sure a lot of people say, shit, they probably only sold 3 million. You know what I mean? They've shipped 37 or whatever, just keeping them in a alleyway or whatnot. But no, realistically, they keep about maybe 1, 2 million just in stores. That's at a max. But yeah, it's doing very well and it's selling incredibly well. A little reference, so I'm just going to get this little reference for you. And I'm going to say this. I was right. You know what I mean? I was right. I said to you guys, PlayStation's back to the glory days, and I definitely feel that. I definitely feel happier in gaming than I have in a long time. I even started a YouTube channel and whatnot. You know what I mean? So PlayStation 4 has sold 40 million units. Sorry, it's actually sold 40 million units. I do apologise. It shipped another number, which we'll get into in a minute. But it sold 40 million units worldwide. At this time, PS3 was at 22.7 million. The PS2 was at 33.2 million. And very surprisingly, the PS1 was actually only at 13.5 million. So what does this show me? Well, there's a lot of statistics and we can talk about in this video. The real hardcore numbers that we've got about Xbox is that it's around about 18 to 20 million, because obviously they don't want to publish numbers because they're not that great. And obviously, I'm not one of these guys that haha, Xbox isn't posting numbers. because you guys obviously weren't around with the Vita because they were never posting those numbers. Um, so yeah, when a company is not doing as well as its competition, or even if it's doing well, like the Xbox is doing well, it's just not quite doing as well as PlayStation 4. Um, so when that happens, you don't really want to show off. Oh, we're getting beat 2-1. Do you know what I mean? It's not really good for the company. So you say how many active users you have, how many tire spins you've had in Forza. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It is just that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I understand it, because before anyone says PlayStation has done this a lot with the Vita, they probably tell me how many times people have used the Move controller or whatever, but they don't like to give numbers when something isn't that successful. But this to me shows to me that the PS2, some people say that the PS2 was their favourite ever console. It's very difficult. I definitely say some of my best franchises were on the PS2, but I just feel that overall package was the PS1 for me. Now, bear in mind when I was playing the PS1, I've got to be about 3 years old, so maybe I was a little bit biased back then. Everything's better when you're younger or whatnot, but yeah, I mean PlayStation doing absolute great numbers, and I'm going to say this correlation. Now, you may disagree, you may agree. I feel that the PlayStation having such a diverse lineup is why it's in front. Now, Xbox has got some fantastic games. I'm not one of these guys that, it's got no games or whatever. I'd never say that about any console, because they do. Do you know what I mean? It just does. But the Xbox has its certain types of games. I know they're trying to move away with that with games like Scalebound, your Recalls and all that. So hats off to them. I'm not a big fan of the Xbox, but they're trying, so you can't really have a go. Nintendo is very much, your Yoshi, you got your Yoshi, you got your Mario, and that's about it. You get your Splatoon once every 4 years or whatever, but it's not great in terms of new IPs or whatnot. But PlayStation, I feel like they're going back to their roots of, these really obscure JRPGs. You got these, basically you got this I Am Setsuna. It's been, I believe, now quote me if I'm wrong. I don't want to spread misinformation, but as far as I'm aware, I Am Setsuna is being published by Square Enix, but it's by a separate small developer who literally focuses on making old style JRPGs. So they know what they're doing. So to me, having games like, I say, I Am Setsuna, Star Ocean 5, Persona 5, having these sort of Dragon Quest 11, Dragon Quest Heroes 2, having these sort of obscure games that may not sell 1 million, may not sell 500,000, but they bring in its own unique audience, and I feel there's a little bit of a theme, isn't there? The PS3 really struggled at the beginning getting Japanese games out. They focused more on what they thought would sell, which they thought Killzone would sell, and it did sort of. Resistance, it didn't really sell. I like Resistance a lot more than Killzone, but I feel like this generation, it's been a more of, we don't care what is quote unquote going to sell. We want you to make the games you enjoy. That's why Guerrilla, I believe, very talented studio, were held back by, you need to make a game to combat Halo. Do you know what I'm saying? And you don't need to do that. Halo is Halo. Let Xbox have its Halo. You don't need to have a first-person shooter on your console, because you don't need to counter that. I feel like just have games that you want to make. So you got Naughty Dog basically saying, we make whatever game we want. You got Guerrilla making a new IP, I believe, as well as a Horizon Zero Dawn. That's crazy. You got Bend working on a new IP. You got Japan Studio working on God knows what. I know they're working on The Last Guardian, but they're also working on probably a lot of other stuff, because it's a big studio. So possibly a Bloodborne 2 new IP, something like that. So yeah, we've got a ton of games coming soon, and they're all new IPs. They could go back to SOCOM and make it very generic, and the SOCOM fans wouldn't be happy. No one would be happy, but it would sell a lot. So I feel like they're doing games that they love, and They're doing a lot of Japanese games, a lot of obscure games, and I just think that's good for the company. But that's just my opinion. Now let's get on to the actual shipped numbers, which obviously is not easy saying with a lisp, but we continue. Sony physical year for 2015, they have shipped 17.7 million consoles through the whole of 2015. So that goes up till March of 2016. That's very, very impressive actually for the company. Believe it or not, that's actually rumored to be around about 0.3 off the whole of what Xbox has sold since its launch. That is 5 million, I believe, more than the Wii U has sold in 4 years. So that's very impressive. And Sony just, I'm glad, because there were some bad days during the PlayStation 3. I'm glad that they're just, moving forward, doing really well. And yeah, I'm just glad that they're doing really well. And do you think Xbox should be selling more? Do you think Nintendo should be selling more? Let me know your thoughts. I love to reply to everyone, so yeah, obviously let me know your thoughts. And then finally, in terms of monetary sort of things, PSN is raking in more cash than the entirety of Nintendo. Yes, not the online section of Nintendo, the whole company. That is insane. That really is crazy. Like, that blew my mind when I saw this. And maybe it's because, back in the day, obviously back in the day, I'm 19 or whatever, but when I was younger, it was always Nintendo. Like, I never saw it as a PlayStation versus Xbox or whatever. I always saw it Nintendo versus Sony. And even now, it's like, a lot of people maybe started in the, 360 gen, and that's fine or whatever. But it was always, you go to school or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I've got the PS1, and they've got the Nintendo system. That's how it always used to be. So, to think that PlayStation now has got in a situation where its online section, is making more than the whole of the company, that's crazy. Now, bear in mind, Sony has a paid-to-play online service. It also has, the Call of Duty marketing deal, so they get 30 days early access to DLC, microtransactions, all that sort of stuff. A lot of Call of Duty heads have moved over to PlayStation. So yeah, that's going to obviously make you money. Some people have come to PlayStation just to play the 30-day early map. But I don't know if it's just me, but that news really, really surprised me. And it's just great to see PlayStation doing so well. But let's talk about a possible new IP. And this is from Game Taser. I retweeted this on my Twitter, at Eminem Gaming 2. Check me out, top left corner. Go follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of the articles that I actually read and talk about on there before I do talk about them. One, because I like you guys to read them for yourselves and all that. And two, because I forget, a lot of the time. So obviously go check that out. So it says, Sony working on a Western action adventure title? So this got me excited because maybe it's just because I have a ton of great memories from Red Dead Redemption, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is right around the corner. But this game looks incredible from the... So there was an art designer who's done some concept art for the game. It's very much a Western setting. You've got a train coming through. You've got a few horses shooting at the train. It looks like maybe a heist or whatever, that they're hijacking the train. You've then got the train tracks that collapsed, and the train sort of going over the edge of these train tracks, which looks awesome. And you've got some guy shooting at it with a shotgun, which is pretty cool. And then you've got some big guy in the train shooting at someone. So that's not much to go on, but yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's just the genre or whatnot, or if it's just Red Dead was so good, but the Western sort of, going back in time, I think I like those sort of games. Some people like future games, which I like as well, but I do like going back into the past, sort of thing, alternative history or whatnot. And I think this game looks amazing, in my humble opinion. And I cannot wait to see if we can get it E3, maybe. So, what will it be called? Now, obviously, I'm not an insider or whatever, but the two games that I've seen patented by Sony recently was Days Gone. Now, Days Gone, I thought was going to be Sony Ben's game, and it actually turned out to be Dead Don't Ride. So we didn't even know what Dead Don't Ride is. So that's apparently Ben's new game. So it could be Days Gone. Now the rumor is that that's Uncharted's DLC name. I'm not too sure about that, but either way, that sounds cool. It sounds an epic name. But also, there's been a recent patent by Sony for a game called The Sentinel. Now, I believe this was a PS1 game, but I've seen a few pictures with The Sentinel in the title. Now, whether it's got any correlation with that, or whether this is just the new game, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. But it looks amazing. Are you excited for a possible... I'm just trying to think what developer could work on this. Santa Monica? Guerrilla could be their game they're kind of working alongside Horizon with. Maybe Naughty Dog's new IP. I highly doubt it. But yeah, just let me know, guys. Who do you think should work on it for one? And also, are you excited for it? Or do you want to see it at E3? Let me know down below. But sorry this has been a bit of a long video or whatnot. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.